I just had thought, man, I really want to make an impact. I want to score. I want to pass. I want to be part of the game. I want to be part of what all these other guys are doing. And I finally got the ball. It was after a free throw. They totally bricked it. It came right to me, and all I thought was, man, I'm wide open. I'm going to shoot this thing. And I drain my first three-pointer. I'm 1 for 1. My shooting percentage was amazing at that time. However, I made a basket for the wrong team. And what happened in that moment, the refs called a timeout. Everyone started laughing, and I started laughing too, to kind of play off. But then I looked around, and everybody was laughing, and I had my very first panic attack, and I ran off that court, and I was bawling my eyes out. And my mom came, and she wrapped her arms around me, and I never played basketball again. And so I tell that story because it's hard to share my story without sharing how it was shaped at an early age. And so that, again, stuck with me. I became a starter and not a finisher. And really look back, and I just became all things to all people. I would be who Jared wanted me to be on Sunday, and who Matt wanted me to be on Monday, and who my parents wanted me to be when I came home for dinner, and learned to blend in. And it wasn't until I was about 23 where I realized my life looks nothing like I thought it would. Living back in my parents' basement, changed my college major 3 times, transferred schools twice, had gotten out of a pretty serious relationship, someone I had been with for 4 years, and just was on a walk on my 23rd birthday, May 30th, 2013, and just realized, man, who I didn't even know who I was, to be honest. I have no idea who I am. I have started so many things. I've finished nothing. And I don't trust myself. Other people don't trust me. Hey, I'm liked because I can have fun, but it's not fun anymore. And I remember that moment was just a very pivotal time, because I had good people around me. That's the thing I should say. I have a great relationship with my parents. They were great coaches and mentors and parents. I think they played all 3 roles for me very well. They coached me when they needed to coach me. They mentored me when they needed to mentor me, but above all, they parented me very well and loved me very well. So I never felt like a failure to them. I never felt like I disappointed them. That's not true. I think I disappointed them on the surface, right? Because it's like, Levi, what are you thinking? But they were never truly, deeply disappointed in who I was. So I had some good people around me, enough to know that my life didn't have to continue looking the way that it did.
Levi, I'm going to interrupt you before you jump into the next chapter of your life. Let's go back to this starter, not finisher thing, because I think this is intriguing. Yet why start and not finish? Like, what happened? Why? I mean, and it sounds like it continued to perpetuate itself. Talk to me about the psychology behind that and where you were at.
Yeah, I think because, when you start things, it's a lot of fun. Well, first off, I realize now I'm a visionary through and through. I'm the CEO of 2 companies, so I'm a visionary, which is a strength. And I'm very entrepreneurial, right? So I think that was part of it, to be totally honest. I'm a starter, not necessarily a maintainer, if that makes sense. So I think that was a small aspect of it. But the majority of it, obviously not knowing that when I was young, was when you start things, it's not that hard. You're excited about it. It's easy. It's the beginning. It's the newness. And then when it's not new anymore, you're playing a sport, and now the newness is over, and now it's hard. Now you have to show up. Now it hurts. Now it's painful. Now you have to be disciplined. Those things were really hard for me. And ultimately what I found was there were times where I would continue pushing through, and, especially in sports, I would have a bad play, I'd miss a block or whatever, and I would just get lit up by friends, which I realize now that was the jargon. That's what you did. But no one knew what was going on inside. And so it was easy for me to just play it safe. And when I say I wouldn't finish, like football, for instance, I was a great football player. I had the size, I had the talent, I understood it. And when I got into, JV varsity, I remember, competition going higher, and maybe not playing as good as I thought. I was a sophomore and I suited up for varsity, and, you get made fun of, coaches yell at you. And with everything that I had been experiencing and just what was going on in my head for so long, the dialogue of my life, it was easier for me to just be like, hey, I'm injured. So I wouldn't say I would fake injuries, but I would nurse them a long time. I would nurse them for a long time because it was easier to be part of the team and not be put in a position where I'm going to miss a block, or I'm going to disappoint somebody, or I'm going to get made fun of, or I'm going to get talked about behind my back. So that's really what I mean. And honestly, Jared, to be frank, it's because that was easy. It was easy to do that. It was comfortable, and I wasn't even comfortable in my own skin. So I would do anything and everything I could to just make myself comfortable.
Well, okay, so now you've got this. Take us through this next chapter of your life. I love this part of the story. May 30th, 2013. It's your birthday. What happens?
Yeah, so like I said, I was on a walk that morning and just reflecting on the year before. So I do that every year on my birthday. I just like to spend some time reflecting on how the year went. And that year specifically, I wasn't, it wasn't just that I wasn't any further along. I had regressed. Again, I had moved home from college, so technically dropped out of college, living in my parents' basement. Although now I realize at 23, most people these days are living in their parents' basements. But at the time, it was just not okay. And again, I had no direction. That's what it came down to. No direction, no clarity. Again, I had kind of been on a journey with my health, was not in a healthy place at that time. And just realized, man, I have a lot of vision for my life. I have a huge vision for my life. I want to be somebody and believe that I could be somebody. I could make a difference and make an impact. And so I was on a walk that morning and I just realized, okay, one of two things is going to happen. One, I'm going to continue down this trajectory and it's not going to be good. Probably depression. I mean, I don't even like to go down that road, but it just wouldn't have been good with the direction I was headed. Or I'm gonna draw a line in the sand, not just kind of commit and hope that things are gonna change, because hope is not a strategy, and my dad always told me that. But draw a line in the sand and say, hey, I'm gonna become somebody. So on that walk, I just realized I need to do something that would challenge me, that is deeply personal, right? That is me versus me, that doesn't really involve other people, where I could grow in the most important areas of my life. So I remember specifically thinking, I want to grow spiritually. I want to grow so much in my faith. Physically, I want to transform my body, but also just my mind, like my mind, my body. So mentally, emotionally, I wanted to be emotionally healthier, and relationally. I wanted to really become a great friend. I wanted to be surrounded by great people that I could be real with. And so I wanted a complete overhaul of my life.